Hello, and you're very welcome to another edition of the Under Centre podcast. Dara here with you, and we are continuing our Women in the AFI series, and we are delighted to be joined this week by the league's leading and my own opinion, probably best photographer, as well as the Wolfhounds photographer too. That is Charisse Mae Ducao. How are
Hello,
you?
guys. Hello, how are you guys? Thank you for that
Excellent.
Good.
compliment. I didn't even expected that one, but thank you very much.
No problem, no problem. Look, listen, it's true. And to be fair, even coming down to us lowly pirates at stages last season was great too for the guys to get some exposure and to get some pictures of themselves and stuff like that, which we don't get often down in Division Two.
Wow. Oh, that's good. That's good. Happy
But
to help, though.
and we will talk loads about your I guess journey into photography and into American football here in Ireland. But first, I got to introduce the other two layabouts either side of me here. I have the Malloy brothers back with me, Reen and Fionn. How are you, boys?
Doing good. The dream team's back together. It's been a while.
Well, he has a swanky new background, so that's why he's feeling so good. He's got
That's cool.
So your lines are almost straight as well, which is really impressive.
I think that's distortion from the camera lens because
Yeah. Hand painted. Ray Malloy always known as a very steady hand.
I can still see the numbers in the paint by numbers there on the wall as well.
He didn't dare to try and do the Panthers logo though.
No.
Not that skilled. He's not that skilled. Maybe give him a bit of practice on the other three walls first that isn't in the camera lens so he can mess it up.
Exactly.
That's how it will work.
Oh, there's botched logos all over the place. Just the walls are covered in them.
Brilliant. So, Charisse, I guess we'll start at the start.
Okay.
Tell us what first of all got you interested in photography, and then how did that lead to American football here in Ireland?
Okay, so it caught first. It's a funny story actually because at that time my ex-boyfriend is my first Irish ex-boyfriend broke up with me, so I needed something for like a diversion, so I went to photography, and then there's a team in Kildare area. Those are the Northern Kildare Rippers. So they saw my work on Facebook, and the funny thing is the players are his friends. So, and they asked me, Charisse, can you go take photos of us? And I was like, oh, sure, shoot. I was just like taking stuff like flowers, animals, just practice my photography. And then later on, I kind of start shooting at them. I'm like, okay, I don't know the setting at all and everything. But later on, I got to practice and practice a lot. And then we went to the team would bring me to the other teams like games. Like the first game that I remember is the Drogheda team, the Drogheda Lightning team. So we went all through Drogheda to see the game. So the head coach of the Drogheda saw my work. And it's like, oh, your work is so nice. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so because I just starting. So eventually I got really used to it. And to be fair, I didn't know the game at all. Like seriously, I really don't know the game at all. But when you see something constantly, you tend to understand them. So you understand how the game works. And then he said to me, so, oh, your works are amazing. So my first Shamrock Bowl was in that season, the 2012. So I got to be in that season. So from there on, I got involved in every event, and then some teams would invite me to their games, especially near around me. So mostly you'll see me in the Shamrock Bowl, and then from there on, I gradually gradually climbing up the ladder. So that's how it started. Actually, it's the breakup led me to that.
And do you think, in a way, as you're saying, your understanding of the game grew the more time you spent around it? Do you think at the start maybe not having that grounding in the sport, because there's a lot of action, right? And the focus always goes on where the ball ends up. And that's obviously where the focus of the viewers goes. But maybe as a photographer, it gave you a chance to maybe catch some of the less seen footage, like the line or the blocks that are happening off the ball. Is that something you try to focus in on as you were learning, or did that just kind of naturally happen as you kind of move around?
So before is I always go for the ball, because you were right, because it's the audience actually sees the ball where the balls goes. So I said, oh, it's not really fair, because the QB and the running back get always the shots. So I tried to see the linemen, and especially when you start when they all start to go up together, and then that's the perfect moment for me. For me, that's the perfect moment, because that's the really nice moment for both team. And then sometimes I don't follow the QB. I just look at the lineman, and just what they're doing. So I've been learning that through all the time that I've been doing the photography. It's like, oh, this is not really fair for the other guys. And I also learned to, it's like, oh, why can't the referees and the coaches get also the spotlight? So that's why I tend to captures the moments, like
Well,
like when they're not looking.
Taking pictures of head coaches is a great way to be invited back onto sidelines. I tell you what, nobody has a bigger ego other than the quarterback than the head coach of every football team. So
Yeah,
it's a good way to ingratiate yourself onto the sideline, I have to say.
Yeah, true.
Although I do fully agree that linemen do need to get more of the spotlight too with those pictures.
What a surprise!
Definitely do. Yeah, don't
They've
forget
got bigger egos.
Yeah,
Bigger egos than QBs.
Bigger everything than QBs.
Not this QB.
Well, definitely don't worry about Fionn at the back anyway. All he sees, all you're getting pictures of him is him getting roasted in the backfield. Anyway,
Yes, the ball goes into the end zone. Blurry in the background.
Oh, gosh.
But as you're saying, as you got to know the game and become familiar with it over the past few years and understanding it a bit more, you say it's you want to sort of involve more of the players and stuff like that. Do you ever get any messages before in terms of players saying, oh, could you take a few more? Was there no pictures of me? Did you get any more pictures of me and stuff like that?
Oh, I get them all the time. And I get them all the time. So this is so funny, because when the tournament start, like especially the flag team, so I have few coaches, a few players that are playing outside internationally, and they're playing for, like, say, Finland or Denmark, and they're coaching for that team. And sometimes they coach for the men or the women, and they will privately message me, Trees, oh, I know the Wolfhounds are playing on that game. This time is same as this team. Is it like, with any chance that you could take a picture? It's like, okay, I'll do the half time. I'll take the half of this, and I run to the other field. You can't really say no at the same time, because it's a privilege. Like, they asked you, and it's rare. And for me, it's not me as being in the spotlight. It's you guys, the players. At the end of the day, you're the one who is in the picture. So I'm just, there to make you, like, be in the spot, be in the glory, look good, to be exactly.
Right, you're trying to make us look good, and it's sometimes that's an impossible task, and that's for sure. Especially the guy to my bottom left here, for sure. It's very hard. But no, seriously, this past off season especially has been a really, really busy off season when it comes to American football here in Ireland. We've had, the Wolfhounds against Turkey. We've had the mini Wolfhounds in obviously the gift day last Friday, the flag tournament, the European Championships there last week or the week before, just recently anyway. As well, obviously, is the usual league stuff and the Shamrock Bowl, and then of course last week you got the chance to be on the sidelines for the Navy and Notre Dame game. What was it like, first of all, there on Saturday at the Aviva?
Okay, so this is like, So at Thursday, they emailed me. So the media accreditation arrived on during the flag weekend. So I was so exhausted because I have to be like back forth in Limerick because I have to work on Saturday. So after Saturday in work, I have to go back there and sleep there, and then you take pictures, and then on Sunday I have to go home. Blah blah. So I was like back and forth. So I got the accreditation. I was like, oh my god, I got the accreditation. So I was like, at the same time, I'm like, shit, I'm nervous. I'm sorry for the language. I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, okay, just come down, Charisse. So on Thursday, I got the media accreditation. So I didn't know what to expect at all. So I went there in the Aviva Stadium. So they let us sit down in the media room, and then we have the press conference. And that was in the schedule already. That the press conference with each team. So the first one would be the Navy, and then the second one would be the Notre Dame. And I was sitting down there, I'm just like, oh my god, this is really getting real. So I got chance to meet the head coach of the Navy. I'm like, oh my god, this is real. It's so unreal. And then when I got the accreditation, I was like, and then they said, oh, I will have a tour of the stadium. So I said, really? We have to tour the stadium? And then it's my first time in the stadium, in the Aviva Stadium. I'm like, okay. But then I tell the lady that who was giving the media accreditation, I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to not finish the tour because I have to go to work. And I just told my supervisor that I need to just pick up the accreditation and go. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I was like, media accreditation, like, yeah. And then I was in the game. I'm like, and I see all the medias. So I saw you, I saw some of from FN 104 and BC, name it. Like it's a really big, like even the Sky are there, like they're big names. Even the American channels there are there. So I make friends with them, and I'm like, oh, they're like normal people, and like I see them as a celebrity in the telly. So yeah, I was taking photos, and it was, as you know, it was really raining that day. It was not helping, but after the game and after game, that's the only time that I realized, oh my god, I was in the Navy and the Notre Dame game. I'm like, oh my god. I only realized that after the game. So I was like, it just sink in, and I'm like, am I really here? Oh my god, it's so unreal. It's my first time. It's my first time in Aviva Stadium. It's my first time in the college football. It's different. Like it's so different. Like it's really organized, and seeing those people like from the other medias, it's really really different. Like unreal. It's amazing feeling for me, to be honest.
And
Yeah.
as you said, it was super busy, but it was your first time at any of these college games. Did you make a little game plan for yourself? Did you say, I want to take some photos down the end zone, I want to be on the sideline, or do you just kind of feel how it goes on the day, find a little spot here and there, and see what you can pick out? Did you plan anything out, or just go with the flow on the day?
No, I just go on the flow in the day. So what I did is before the I know they were already in the field practicing. Both teams are warming up already. So I went around the field to see how it goes. And then few people in the city that are actually near the media recognized me, and they're all like, Charisse. And she's like, oh, it's like taking photos of me. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I haven't finished the photo edited of that one, but then when you see the album, most of them are like the players from the American football in Ireland. So you'll see all your faces there. Like they're all waving at me, and then the Americans was like, "Oh, who's that girl?" And they was like, "Oh, she's the photographer for the American football Ireland, and she's also the like." I was like, "Hi." I was like, "Hi, how are you?" She's like, "Oh, can we take a picture of us?" I'm like, yeah, sure. So I got all around, and then when the Notre Dame faced on my side of the field, that's the time I take a photo of them because they changed already, like they changed their position. So every team has a chance. So I stayed on one spot, and then later on I got bored and I go around, and then later on I got seated again and roll around. And it's like but I make sure that I get the sideline as well, these cheerleaders, the band, and especially the spectators as well. So you can never miss spectators. They're the best, the best supporters for the players.
Yeah. And it's great because obviously it wasn't just yourself. There was also other, you know, well known here photographers that look after the league here, and obviously ourselves, we're lucky enough to get press passes, and so are other Irish podcasts. It seems as though Aer Lingus or whoever was in charge of it this year made a real effort to involve sort of the local media as much as they can, despite it being such a huge game, that they wanted to make sure that that sorry that the local side of it was involved too, which was actually a fantastic experience for us.
Yeah, true. Because I saw your posts in Stars, like, no way, the undersetters are here. I'm like, most of the podcasts I think that I'm known in the league are there. Yeah, but I don't know about the domestic. But you guys were so lucky to be in the media, and you see because we don't see it in the sideline. You see it above when they form the shamrock, and then the band, how they move. I didn't see that one. All I see is like they're moving.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing? So,
yeah, I think was it they made the outline of the country. They spelled out the word Irish as well. I think they did the shamrock, like you mentioned. It was incredible. They did it all so well, and it was so seamless. And then obviously then at the start when they had the flyover, with the three planes, that I'm almost thinking that if anybody did not know what was going on and saw those three planes going over the city, thought something weird was going on. It was like Doomsday or something here.
Yeah. It was actually in the Discover Dublin. So they were telling like, what's going on? Are the guards going to arrest somebody because there are three planes, or what? Are we invaded by aliens or something? I'm like, calm down. Only football.
But let's pivot over then to the European Championships then, because you, like you said, you actually had a busy weekend there because going to and from Limerick, with work. But how did you find the weekend itself in Limerick? It looked like a very well put together tournament, which was great to see, and obviously it was great to see the both Irish teams as well perform as well as they did.
Oh yeah. So I seen the women because I was in the practice seldom with the flag football, because every time the flag football the team would practice, I'm in work. But if I am off, I would make sure that I would make it. So I've seen the women; they've been practicing for 2 months, and I've seen the man also practicing as well. So it's unreal as well, because all the European nations are there. No, not most of them, because there are 3 teams who didn't made it on that day. Um, and the players are very friendly as well. It was well organized. It was well, like it's really is like you can feel the atmosphere is with unity, like especially for the Irish team, because if the women plays, the men are there to support the women, and then when the men are playing, the women are there, and it's good because it's for me, I've been in the league for a long time, and seeing women get involved, especially in the flag, it's unreal. It's amazing for me. It's like a history made in football in Ireland, like an American football in Ireland, and it's amazing. Even though the girls didn't win any wins at all, they did great. Like they did great. And if they had more time to practice, they probably would do better as well. The men did win two plays against Slovakia and Poland. So I've seen that one. And then when they played with Poland, I was like, they're starting to get lost. I'm like, okay, I'm going away. I'm going away. Maybe I am the jinx here. I'm like, no, 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 I'm going away. Like, and then one of the coaches in the guy, do you believe that one's like, yeah, I do. Like, if they lost, I will go away. I will go away. So when I left, they won. I was like, see, I told you they will. So that was their first. That's were their last game, I think, on that day, and the third day, and then the women had a friendly game between Sweden. So that was really nice atmosphere as well when I seen that one. So it was a very well organized, except that I got lost because the university was so huge. Even though, but
I've heard of that about Limerick before. Yeah, I know
oh,
friends that went.
it's huge. It's huge. I got lost. Like, well, I compliment the security guard who helped me there, and he was so kind, and then he would direct me. Actually, he actually literally dropped me off where I was staying. It's like, oh, this is your apartment, and this is the. I'm like, oh, so thankful, so thankful. So I told the one who's organizing the event. I told Aiden as well that and especially the Limerick team who were there to organize because they know more the place. So I told them, the security guard was, you're right, your security guard is very, very helpful. So I really do compliment them on that one. So they were really, really great. It was a really great atmosphere, to be honest, even though it was pissing rain and with a yellow warning.
Yeah. Charisse, my takeaway from the conversation so far is that you have just so much work on your plate when it comes to this American football photography. So my question to you is, how long does it take you to edit a game day, a set of photos from a game day? And is it any different for the flag? Is that maybe a little bit easier? Is there fewer photos? Or is it kind of the same workload?
Oh, it's the same workload. Because if flag is much more easier, to be honest, because they're shorter. They're shorter. The kitted ones are a bit longer. They're like 3 hours. So if I was, let's say, if I was having a game this Saturday, it would take me probably 2 days to do it. If I wasn't working, it would take me 1.5 day to do it. But now, recently, because I was like everywhere, you see my face everywhere in the event. My workload is like going up and going up. So I'm like, if you see me uploading the photos in the Facebook, I'm jumping to one place to another, like the flag, the kitted, the youth, the flag, the kitted. It's like I'm trying to get everybody as much as I can, like, because they're messaging me as well. They were telling me like, oh, any chance that you've done this and that? I was like, oh, it's been under process. Like I'm trying to make it in a hurry. But during the weekend on the Friday, there is a photographer that I knew. Um, he does this landscape and everything, and he's a teacher actually in the Dublin photography school. And he taught me how to edit more faster, which is actually helpful. So now I am nearly finishing up my editing. I'm like, oh, this is way better than I did before. I was like, damn, I should have done this a long time ago. Or he taught me that one. So right now I'm like halfway now. So I'm halfway. So please God, I'm like, I am hoping that I would be able to post them at the end of the week,
We look forward to it.
Oh, hopefully.
There, you're on mute.
Sorry, my question now is gone, so it doesn't matter at this stage. Fionn, you actually had a question there that you wanted to ask too before we
Yeah.
wrap up.
You've obviously spent a long time photographing this game. As you said, you make a tremendous effort to get all over the country, and us as players, as Dara said, especially from the low end of D2, we really, really appreciate it. I just want to know, have you got a favorite ground that you've been to so far? Is there one you really like, the background scenery or the setup? Like you said, down in Limerick was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was pretty nice in Limerick, but it was a really long drive.
Mm.
To be honest. Um, the field that I so far that's the easiest one for me is a UZD. Because it's easy. Like it's not like other places that has like and it's an art as an air what you call it, an artificial ground, so it's easy to go around. Like it's not much really space to go around, and I don't have to go in the further on the field. It has to really has a minimum thing. And I don't specifically, you know, complain about it, but I work whatever I have, like, in the field. Um, I don't have a favorite team, to be honest. But I can predict who is the team on the season, who will win, and just by looking at their practice. Yeah, so that's why I try my best to go to preseason
Mm.
practice of every team, like that's just near me. So like you guys, I went to the Pirates, yeah,
Yeah.
and I went to the UCD, and I went to Rebels, and I went to some of the other teams. Like if on my off day, and I knew it already who will win. Like I would just keep quiet my mouth. I'm like, yeah, I know already who will win this season. Like I knew already, but this season I knew already, but I just kept quiet. It's like I knew it. I should have bet on this one.
Remind me now never to bet against whatever you pick. Then if if you're going to pick for a winner, this is definitely not going to happen. Definitely not going to win that one for sure. But Cherise, like I said, we're coming into sort of the proper sort of off season, you could say, before we start getting into preseason and rookie camps, and then obviously the youth football is going to start. Flag is back this weekend. I don't know if you are going to go anyone. I think the closest one to us here this weekend is in Newbridge. I think that's Division 1 South is going to be in Newbridge this weekend. The rest of them are up north. But are you going to sort of take a break now for a few weeks when it comes to sort of American football now, or are
Yeah.
you going to sort of try and look at still going to some of either the flag games or maybe the practices or something?
So the off season, so the season is still on. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna try this weekend, probably if I finish all my editing, so that it won't pile up anymore. So that I would like I'll be not cramping about it. I know it's in Newbridge, and it's a Crusaders home ground. I think, yeah, it's a Crusaders home ground, and the Crusaders are very, very, very nice to me. Um, they're like some of the players are actually from the Northern Kildare Rippers, so kind of also like a extended family for me. Yeah, so if I have an off, I will probably go on a flag. If on the off season, if in the preseason begins, I would go to the team's practice. And lately now, I've noticed that the basketball is also starting, so I want to try that one. Um, to see how my skills is in doing in sports indoor. I haven't tried that one, so I want to extend my ability on that one because I know I've know the American football very, very well. I want to extend my skills on that one. So, and the off season I'll be also be in college, so I'll be
Okay.
taking a course as well in college. So yeah, busy mind, busy body.
No rest at all for you now when it comes to it. No rest.
No, no,
Um,
no.
Well, Cherise, it's been absolutely fantastic to speak to you. Really enjoyed the chat. Now, I know everyone listening to this probably already knows where to find your work, but if there is someone that doesn't and is interested in checking out some of your photography skills in terms of previous matches and stuff like that, where can they find your work?
So there's two places that you can see. It's in Charmy Ducks Photography in the Facebook, and then in the Instagram as well is also Charmy Ducks Photography, or Art Charmy Ducks. So in the future, I'll be next year probably, hopefully that I would be having my own website. so that properly the players can just like grab it there, because I know the resolution in the Facebook take it away. So hopefully next year I'll set up a my own website and you guys can have it for free for my American football family, you know.
Brilliant. We're looking
Super
forward to it,
generous.
definitely.
Super generous.
Too generous. You're too generous. Definitely looking forward to seeing you back down. Hopefully next season we might get you down at a Pirates game for sure.
By the drone.
Fingers crossed. With the drone. Oh yeah, definitely the drone. Have to bring
Yeah.
the drone for sure. You need an aerial view of Fionn missing a tackle.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
You won't.
For
You won't
sure.
miss Dara from the air anyway,
Absolutely not. This fat ass is going to be seen
or
from
from the
space.
ground.
You have to show me your best tackle. So that would be drone.
Hey, it's
No.
not for the one to try and. It's not for the one to try and.
Brilliant stuff. Like I said, it's been great speaking to you. Best of luck with the rest of the off season. Best of luck in college now as well. And we hopefully will see you soon. Boys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
If you are watching us on YouTube and you haven't already, make sure you like this video and make sure you are subscribed to the Under Center podcast. We are getting into the NFL season. We're going to be having loads of shows for you with multiple interviews from around the league, looking at all the teams. We'll also have our own show, giving our own views too. If you want, you can listen back via podcast, Under Center Podcast. Just search for it wherever you get your podcasts, and that is where you will find us. Social media at Under Center Pod, both on Instagram and on Twitter or X or whatever it's called these days. That's where you will find us as well. But until next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.